Yes, people. Yes, yes. What is the noise? Thank you for joining me once again for another episode of the Riding Shotgun Podcast. I appreciate you. So my name is Parker. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for joining. Please do make sure that you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be updated on when the next episode comes out. Usually every Monday and Thursday, Monday being your freebies and Thursday being your episode that hits your Patreon. So if you do head over there, you get loads of backdated content, which will be on patreon.com/Riding Shotgun Podcast. So there you go. You can get all the free bits and pieces, plus loads of backdated content that you're not going to get anywhere else. Also, if you're wanting to listen instead of watch, you can totally do that on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon as well now. So get over to there, give me a 5-star review if you so wish. That would be absolutely delightful. If you could, that would be awesome. Anyway, on with the show. So I was on Instagram yesterday, and yesterday I came across a profile called 90s Retro. And this 90s Retro had everything from the 90s, like TV shows, adverts, sweets, crisps, that kind of thing, all in there, like as a reminder of what the 90s was. And in all honesty, there's some stuff in there that I completely and utterly forgot about, but other things that I hadn't forgot about, and for some reason are still firmly wedged in my brain as a theme tune. And some things that I remember from being really little in school and changing the words to, which is odd, really. So one of the things there was an advert for Vitalite. You know, the advert for or Vitalite, which is like a butter. And weirdly, I knew exactly what was going on in terms of the advert. As soon as the first few beats come across, I was like, okay, I know this. And for a weird reason, I kind of knew what the rhyme was when I was in school that we changed to. Wake up in the morning, got a funny belly, did a big and blew up the telly. Oh, Vitalite. Why would I remember that? Absolutely no idea why I would remember that. That's crazy. But for some reason, that piece of useless information is locked in my head. Woo, sneezes. Why would that be locked in my head? After all these years, I don't think I've even said that rhyme in 25 years. Oh, Jesus. Hay fever's killing me today. So yeah, in 25 years, I don't think I've even said that rhyme, let alone remembered it. But that's in there. It's in there. You know, couldn't remember what I ate last week, but that rhyme is firmly entrenched in my brain. Absolutely no idea why, how, or anything else to do with that. Just ridiculous. But yeah, there was some other stuffs in there. Things like the Rainbow theme tune, always a good one. There's a couple of kids' TV shows in there as well that I remember too. I was having a conversation about this a few months ago, about kids' TV shows that, you know, are kind of like you remember from when you were little. And there was one on his Instagram page called Bertha. There's Bertha, lovely Bertha, what a wonderful machine. And I used to watch that when I was, 5 or 6 years old, I think. And I still remembered the theme tune for it. Still remembered and sung along to the theme tune. It's ridiculous. But there was another one on there which kind of surprised me. I remember it from when I was very, very small. Must have been maybe 3 or 4 years old. It was called Chuck-a-Bug. And I don't remember the theme tune at all, but I do remember Chuck-a-Bug. I remember watching Chuck-a-Bug, and I remember the little car thing that he comes driving into. Don't know what it was about or anything like that, but it was usually like a line of kids' TV programs. There was Chuck-a-Bug, then there was Green Claws, which was like some weird random alien looking thing that lived in a greenhouse and told stories, and they grew a plant inside a tree to tell the final story. And then what was after that? Usually after Green Claws, it was, I think, a TV show called Pie in the Sky. And it was about this baker dude who got his pie recipes from aliens in the sky, I think. I might be wrong about that. I never really used to watch Pie in the Sky. I didn't really like it, if I'm honest. But certainly Green Claws and Chuck-a-Bug. Oh, and then after that was Finger Mouse. Finger Mouse. Yeah. I mean, if you could make a low-budget TV program in the 80s, it would be that. Finger Mouse. Just a piece of card wrapped around your finger with ears, and then make a voice from it. Finger Mouse. Well, he didn't even make a voice, I don't think. I think it was just, what's that, Finger Mouse? He's in danger. But then said nothing. You know, like the whole Skippy thing. Skippy the bush kangaroo. What's that, Skippy? He's stuck down a mine. Oh, ridiculous. Funny. But yeah, so there was a few kids TV programs on there, but yeah, they just sort of bring back memories, and it's not even particular memories of like any good times or anything that happened before. It's just, oh, I used to watch that TV program. That's the whole sum of the memory. That is it. So yeah, bit weird, but yeah, no, it was some good stuff on there. Like, what was the Steel Tango? Yes, it used to be in a black bottle with large orange writing. I used to love Steel Tango. Really love Steel Tango because it tasted like, you know, when you get to the bottom of an ice pole and all of the juices are right at the bottom there of all of the flavourings and stuff. It used to taste like the orange one of that, but cold, obviously. Yeah, so I used to like Steel Tango, and that was on there. And what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. I think it might have just been like a Lilt or something like that, like a different flavour Lilt. But yeah, Steel Tango was on there. I was like, wow, Steel Tango. I've not seen that in years. Straight in my mind, as soon as I thought that was, I used to buy that from the shop up at Gifford's Cross Road when I was playing football. And we're like, yeah, should go and get a drink or something. And I would go to the shop and buy a Steel Tango from the shop when I was playing football over at the park. First thing that came to my mind. Very random how you associate that. But yeah, I associated that with playing football over the park when I was 12, 13, 14, something like that with friends. Madness. Absolute madness. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, something got me a little bit riled up today as it goes. I was watching a bit of TikTok, Tick of the Talk, and there was this girl on there that was bullying someone, and then someone who was the same size as her came up from behind her, grabbed her hair and beat the shit out of her, basically. I thought, yeah, brilliant. And then there was someone in the comments that kind of brought light to something. You know, when someone was getting bullied, the teacher did fuck all. And then when the bully was getting beaten the shit out of, that's when the teacher stepped in and went, no, stop. Which I kind of thought, do you know what? That kind of happened to me. You know, I was getting bullied at school. I said about it and complained about it, and nobody did naff all. And then as soon as I stick up for myself and end up grabbing someone's arm, saying, don't do that, I'm the one who gets chastised. And actually got isolated for a week. So I didn't have any playground time at all, which nobody checked up on. So I should have just carried on, if I'm honest, and just done exactly what I should have done. But there was another time as well that I got a detention or something, and I said to him, I went, no, I don't do detentions. No, I've always done my homework. He's like, all right, come and see me at lunchtime. I was like, okay. So I went to see him at lunchtime and sat there throughout lunch. And they went, oh yeah, I forgot about you. I went, oh, for fuck's sake. Really? You forgot about me, did you? Okay. I see what it is, yeah. Not that important to you, eh? Not that important to you. So I got out of the detention that way. I mean, that is a bit like imprisonment, isn't it, really? You didn't do your homework, so, you know, I'm keeping you here. Really? You're going to keep me in school, are you? Stop me from walking out. But that's just the thing. That's just the done thing in school, I think. Which is kind of a ball ache. I mean, the things that I know now that I should have known in school, but I just wasn't wise to it and just kept on with it. You know, I could have done so much better in that system, if I'm honest, if I knew then what I knew now, sorry. Like, yeah, the teachers would have a real problem with me, a proper problem with me, but it would all be legal and above board, and it would be, you know, like they wouldn't be able to sort of do anything about it because I'd be able to, you know, keep within the rules. But the challenges that I would give them, oh, I'm sure they would hate me, absolutely hate me, because I would challenge them at every direction and come back with some really witty retorts that they wouldn't be able to shut down. I'm sure I would. Because I just think back at some things that happened at school and you think, oh my God, like really? Like, I put up with that? That's mental. So yeah. Oh well, you live and learn, eh? You live and learn. Not much you can do about it now. I've done my school. Thank Christ. Hated it. Hated school. But either way. So we're going to come to the end of part 1. And you'll come back in part 2 to find out what I've been up to. Why I'm in a suit. What I'm doing in the car this time of day in a suit. So please do like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Come back in part 2, and you'll find out more about more, and I will keep you in the loop of everything you need to know. So I'll see you on the flip side. Hello, welcome back. Part 2 of Riding Shotgun Podcast. I'm not sure what that silly accent was right then, but there you go, you can have it. So that's we're well on the way, part 2 then. So just want to say thank you for joining me. Do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit a 5-star review if you're listening, and thanks so much. I appreciate you being here. Anyway, I promised you in part 1 why I'm in the car at this time of day in a suit. So basically, I went for a job interview. And this job interview is at a site that I know very, very well, and have been there for, well, I've been there many, many times before, in a work role and a social role. And what it is in Maidstone there is there used to be a David Lloyd. This David Lloyd has recently shut down, and it shut down about a week ago. And this new company that's come in is basically half council, half Serco. And they were interviewing for sales position. I was like, oh, cool, all right, brilliant. So went in there, hopefully getting a sales position role. Now, after sitting down with the manager, Donna, she's very nice, seemed quite experienced in doing things, which is good to see, but they only have a 18-month contract to get this thing sorted, but they're looking at getting another 7 years. So they're more like a contract that they're getting there. I know the site well, but what they were offering was quite weird. They weren't offering a set amount of hours. They weren't offering a set amount of money. They were offering days. They said, oh, you've got these days, these hours and these days. And it ended up being 3 days a week at the quietest times. So, first of all, I was kind of, all right, okay, I'll see exactly what you're about. Quiet times on the days means that I can get things done, no problem. So, okay, cool. But then I asked the question, can you come in at other days to earn more commission? No, you can't. Even if I was not expecting to get paid for those hours. No, you can't, because the people that will be here would expect those sales that you've arranged to be theirs. Right, okay. So, you're not going to give me more hours, and you won't let me earn any more commission than what is actually on the days. And she said, that's correct. I was like, right, okay. And then she started offering me other positions. Like, there's an activities manager. What's an activities manager, I hear you ask? An activities manager is where you'd be working with people who work with kids. So you organise the events, you organise the rooms, all that kind of thing. And in all honesty, that's not my bag at all. Number one, working with kids, can't think of anything worse. Number two, working with people who work with kids, even worse. Because I know what they're like. So with the sales role, I was a bit kind of, I'll show you, but then I knew exactly what that club is like, because David Lloyd had been flogging that site like a dead horse for 10 years, and they did fuck all. They were literally at the bottom of the sales rung every single month, consistently, for years, when I worked for David Lloyd. And I'm pretty sure it was the same after I left too. And they run that place into the ground. And when I walked in there, it's very bare and basic. Like, they don't have anything in there right now because they've only just moved in. So it looks bland and boring. And I don't think you're going to be able to sell that. Even if you're calling people, I don't think you're going to do that. I mean, one of the hours they're offering was 8 till 4 on a Sunday. 8 till 4 on a Sunday. Ain't no one going to answer the phone at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. So you're restricted there. And ain't no one going to answer the phone at midday on a Sunday either. It's just not going to happen. And even at 3 o'clock, people ain't going to answer it either because they're too busy with football and stuff. If you're a gym goer, you're going to be busy. You're not going to be sat on your tush doing nothing. So, yeah, not really what I had hoped for. And even though I tried to explore other avenues and say, right, okay, I'll do those hours, but what if I came in and earned more on commission? He said you can get 60% of what you sell if you achieve 150% of your target. And I thought, well, if I'm on 150% of my target and I'm only on 4 days, then I could easily smash that target, get 150% and work harder and earn more. So reduce the hours so you get a smaller target, then earn more money because you're getting 60%, rather than working 40 hours, getting a higher target, only getting 95, 100% of your target and earning less. Plus the hours I do will be up to me. That would have worked, but no. I said, won't do that either. But one thing she did say was, had we met a month ago, 2 months ago, she would be saying, what hours do you want? You work whenever you want to work. That would have been amazing. I could have done Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. That will do. That would have been sick. But yeah, sadly not to be. Not to be that one. But it was worth it because I got to meet someone, and I said, you know, I put all of my expertise across, and she looked at my my CV and everything like that. I said, if there is something else that comes across that I think you're suitable for, I will definitely be giving you a call and I will definitely remember you. Okay, excellent. So, could be a good connection, might not be. Time will only tell. So, yeah. But that site, I tell you now, they will be flogging that horse for ages. And especially when all of the members have left and gone to Kings Hill. Listen, oh yeah, we aim to be by 1,500 members by the end of the year. By the end of the year! 1,500 members by the end of the year. So 6 months to do 1,500 members. I mean, even if you start at 0 and want 1,500 members, that's that's just silly. You can't, no. I mean, she was saying we signed up 500 members in a week, so they must have about 500 members, I think. So they're looking at 1,000 members in 6 months. So they're looking at about 120 sales per month, something like that. 3 per day is not going to do it. And I'm certainly not going to be able to do 3 a day in quiet times, as a minimum. Not going to do it. We're flogging that arse like something else. I don't think that's realistic, to be honest. At all. At all. But, you know me, I got to believe in the product to be able to sell it. And I'd already put her on the back foot when we first started, because I basically told her her own work history, because I'd looked her up on LinkedIn beforehand. Like, oh yeah, you've been with Serco 23 years, haven't you? Oh. Love doing that. I love putting people on a back foot on an interview. It's quite funny, because now the interview is in my hands and I make the decisions and I make the questions. I mean, she did an awful lot of talking. And I barely said anything. She was interviewing me, but it ended up being me interviewing her, which is quite funny. I love doing that. Take control of the situation. Just play about with it. If you go in there nervous and they've got the upper hand, they're just going to wreck you with questions and you'll stutter and bumble and God knows what else. But if you go in there saying that you're owning this thing and you're asking the questions and you're putting them on the back foot by asking them things that they don't know about or you shouldn't know about, you're already on a winner. So one time I remember I actually went to a David Lloyd over in Surrey, I think it was, and I was with a girl at the time, and I said, let's pretend that we're a married couple. Let's pretend. All right then, okay. And I'd just finished up working for David Lloyd, I think, so I know all of the sales techniques, like all of the sales techniques and all of the questions and things like that. So the first thing I did when I rolled in there, because the sales technique for David Lloyd is, so tell me about your lifestyle. So I went in there and started a casual conversation with the salesperson. I said, are you going to tell me about your lifestyle then? So, oh, that's funny. I was going to ask you the same thing. Have you been here before? No, I haven't been here before. Which I hadn't, wasn't a lie. You know, I hadn't been there before. And she was asking all these sorts of questions. I said, yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, if you do X and Y and Z and, you know, you do this and that, you can actually get this, that and the other. She went, oh, yeah, I was just about to say that. Are you sure you haven't been here before? I'm positive, mate. I'm positive. But you probably should have heard of me because I was top of the sales tree for 2 years. Unless you're new, you would know. And it was quite funny. And she showed me around the whole thing. I said, oh, just take the day pass. I'll take the day pass. It's fine. And she wasn't quite sure how to take me. And it completely threw off her sales technique. Because I was the one that ended up showing her around rather than her showing me around. That's quite funny. Oh, just taking control of that situation. And yeah, she was flummoxed. Like, because obviously she had this routine set out in her head and all the questions set out in her head and all this thing that was just every day trying to do the same questions to the same people doing the same actions. And for me to come in and turn that world upside down, it was like a do not compute moment. So tell me your lifestyle. How do you feel about that? Do you have any kids? Do you have a wife? How long have you? You're finding it quite stressful, are you? Well, we have just the thing for you. Well, you did say you were stressed, and you did say you needed to exercise more. Well, look, we have a gym for you. Fuck them. So funny. But yeah, the David Lloyd way of selling is the Challenger way of selling. It's called Challenger. And basically you've got to have a big set of nuts to sell under this Challenger way, because what you got to do basically is tell them, unless they join this gym, physically, mentally, they're going to collapse and die. You know, you're more at risk of heart disease and you're more at risk of this and that. And, you know, you've already said you've had problems with your heart. You know, it's fucking savage. And there's so many people that have come through David Lloyd when I was there. Bless him, my dear old mate Luke. He didn't like the Challenger way of selling at all. He's a good salesman, really good salesman, but doing this Challenger way of, he's like, it doesn't feel right. I can't do this. I was like, all right, cool. Me, however, I went in there and I had a conversation with people and I dismantled people. I mean, in all honesty, it sounds quite shameful, although from a sales point of view, you should be quite proud. There was 4 occasions where people cried at me. They cried. You know, I remember distinctly this one African lady that came in and quite thick accent. But she understood and I understood her and everything that she was saying, but she had a really thick accent. And we started having a conversation. Oh, I need to lose weight. I said, oh, how much would you like to lose? I said, well, you could probably lose about, you know, a stone in 6 weeks. How would that make you feel? And she started crying. And then by the end of it, she like signed up and all this kind of thing, put her kids on it and God knows what else. Signed her up to the max. And then about 2 weeks later, she phoned up and said, no, I can't afford it. So please cancel it immediately. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So he came in and cried for nothing. Nightmare. So it's what you get for being a bit harsh, I guess. A bit sales like. But yeah, I was ruthless back then. Absolutely ruthless. And I probably would still be ruthless as well. Not going to lie. I would still do that job, and I would still go in there doing exactly the same thing, saying exactly the same things, and being as harsh as I was back then as well. So yeah, there you go. So thank you for joining me for part 1 and 2 today. Thank you for joining me for Riding Shotgun Podcast. Appreciate it. Head over to patreon.com/Riding Shotgun Podcast to get all the backdated and all the bits and pieces that you don't see on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music. I shall see you for the next one. So take care. God bless. I'll see you soon. And I love you. Mwah.